Gordon, what happened in Westgate Park last night?
Just about everything, I think. We didn't have enough policemen there to hold back the people. And this has happened to us a lot of times, the promoters and whoever it is who's running it, they say, oh, we'll get piles of policemen, it'll be all fine. And then we get there and we find sort of half a dozen policemen, and sometimes they just get knocked straight over. And you see the crowd, and then you see the policemen coming up through the back of them, And we, always stop the show, and then someone goes out and says, now you kids get back, and they'll finish the show. And this has happened 100 times to us, all over the place. In England, we usually have about 30 or 40 policemen everywhere, Isn't
this good publicity for you, though?
It's good publicity in a way, for publicity, but when people come to see a show, I think it's unfair that, they should have it ruined. And it's unfair on us as well that we should, not be able to do an act. No, all we were doing last night was sort of saying, this song is called so-and-so, do it, and then someone would come on and say, stop. And even halfway through the songs yesterday, they said, stop the show. And we were looking at them and we said, no, don't be stupid, we're not going to stop. And so they just pulled our microphones out.
You had quite a riotous reception at the airport yesterday also, didn't you?
Well, it was good. It was a good reception, but apparently it was better earlier on, because our plane was late. Rather, we missed one plane. And
were your clothes ripped off of you in either place, either at Westgate Park or at the airport?
They weren't ripped off. They were just sort of loosened a bit, The other day we had these flaps on the back of our jackets were taken off. It was pulled down and there was just a rip out the back of it, But,
Gordon, how do you explain the popularity of this hairstyle?
I got a face in there. What? Well, I think it's obviously, now it's because of the Beatles it's become popular. But before this, it was art students who started it. John Lennon was an art student once, I think. And it just sort of got popular because it's easier to look after. It just sort of falls in place. And you get up in the morning, and instead of it sticking up in the air, it's all over your face, So you just sort of pull it to the side like that. Whoops. And, it just sort of goes, and it's easier to look after.
Why do you think the girls go crazy over the Beatle-type performers?
Excuse me. I don't know. I don't know many Beatle-type. We're nothing like the Beatles in performing. Their act is completely different to ours. We do sort of folk songs occasionally, and we do ravey songs. In fact, we try to sort of put a mixture of everything into it.
Would you say that your conduct and appearance is sort of a rebellion against adults?
No, not at all. We used to play to adult audiences in clubs and in theatres, and obviously our act changes for them. We don't jump around so much, but I love playing to both audiences. It's great to have a screamy audience on one side and then an audience who'll listen to you and then clap at the end, and you feel good, whatever happens.
Do you think this craze will continue for an indefinite period, or are you just cashing in on it while it's going strong now?
Well, we used to sing entirely folk songs, and then we got this recording contract and made a record. And it happened, so we're singing this, and, it's good fun. We're going around the world, which I'd probably never do any other time. I'd probably never come to America, because I couldn't afford it.
Is it your sister or Peter's that's a fiancée of one of the Beatles?
Neither. Peter's sister goes out with one of the Beatles, but it's not fiancée or anything. It wouldn't be worth it.
There was a rumor that one of the Beatles had been married, an additional one.
An additional one?
There's one who's already married.
John Lennon is married, and it's a rumor that Paul is married to Jane Asher.
Is that true?
But it's not true. They go out with each other just like we go out with people occasionally. It just so happens that someone decided to make something of it, and it's sort of, big. This is my plane coming up.
Yeah, you're about ready to leave, and it's going to be a much quieter departure than the arrival was yesterday, isn't it?
I hope so, yeah.